Oh, I loved looking up just to see what looks like home video of us.
Here I am with the kids.
Yeah, it was just like
First time in this spaceship.
it was the perfect amount of shaky cam and like fumbling around. It was just like, oh yeah, this is found.
We should adjust the setting on the ship.
Yeah. Hi.
My head is in the frame.
Yes.
Is that okay?
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, we're not gonna detach it from filming.
I don't know. Who needs a head?
Not willing to do that.
I need to get ahead, so.
Don't we all?
Memory, like remembering where all the settings are. Yeah, see, this one's got some heads in it too.
This,
okay.
I don't know why, this gives like B-roll for my band when we're
Like
getting
in the
ready
green
for the
room?
jam sesh, yeah.
You can just print out.
Like this is what they put in the documentary of like, yeah, we were just like all on LSD in that
just
one
print it out. It won't
moment,
let me
came out with
change
some crazy
this
music.
character sheet for some
None of us remember.
I don't remember shit, man.
I think it's just this one that needs swapped.
Custom ones that print some small because I'm gonna put like just found notebooks. Have the little discs so you like add the paper into it.
Perfect.
I'm gonna put the discs in front of you so that you can have like on here.
Thank you. That's beautiful.
Convenient. Just imagine I did it today. Wouldn't that have been so like helpful and convenient for you?
Picturing it now, and I'm really pleased.
Yeah.
Hey, it's
grateful
okay.
that you
I
let
said
me
I
do
was
that
gonna-
with
Really
us.
good, Josh.
I said I was gonna work on my car yesterday and I didn't, so.
That's okay. I forgive you.
The last one.
You're not my car. You can't forgive
You're not
me.
my car.
Dude, where's my
dad's
car?
got a cell phone.
Duh.
I like your nails, Mike.
Thank you. I did them in 30 minutes before a show.
Mr. Voss.
I wanted to do my nails and I didn't. Now I'm jealous.
Thank you. It's
Well, Mike can
It's a
do
good
them in
color.
30 minutes,
thank
Cleo.
you. It's a little messy if you get too close, but it's
Oh,
I
it's
put it off for way too long, and I just need to stop biting my nails, and it helps so goddamn much. And you look pretty.
You look pretty.
Stop. Getting riz. What do I do, Cleo?
all right.
What do I
Look
do?
away.
Just across the room. I don't know. I don't want to. I don't want to
Alright.
embarrass myself.
Look away.
Okay.
Then look back. Make make eye contact. Then look back away.
How do you have this memorized?
Keep looking away. Now just glance your eyes in his direction, but they have to make eye contact.
This 10-hour loop of the Starfield has the most delayed section.
Perfect. Now look down. Now bite your lip. Perfect.
Break it off.
Now I'm blind, but I can only.
What's he saying? What's he looking like?
Oh, he's having a great time. I think you rizzed him back.
Having a good time.
Having a good time.
Who are you? You're Ronan Voss.
Mr. Voss.
Putty, I need to print yours.
Mr. Voss.
We thought you were gonna make it good, but then you were like, nah, I didn't think we did.
I was trying to not only book another piercing appointment, but try to memorize some of these abilities.
Memorize another piercing.
Try to memorize a piercing appointment.
What is the piercing? Did you say the piercing? Is it an ear thing?
No,
Okay, I won't dive deeper.
if you want to know, I can tell you.
If you want me to know. Hold on, one sec.
You gotta. Yeah, there you go.
What is happening? Do I need to put you two across the table from each other in order to make sure
stop.
everyone interacts? The whole time they're just making faces at each other. You did this during the finale too. There
No.
We would never.
time after time, I would have to go through and just turn off one of your mics because you were next to each other. So it was like the same level in both mics because you would like lean in, like, here's a little observation about the thing that's happening right now that I just think is funny, but I don't want to. They'll never know. They won't hear us talking about it. We'll just have our little moment. But both mics are like, here's us talking.
Is the thing that you have to do to keep it from being a 3 month long editing thing just shock collars on Cleo and I? So we'll stop talking.
Yeah, you already have
Away
one,
from the
right?
mic.
You just-
I'll put a little button on my stream deck that's just like whenever you
Just has the
misbehave.
tiniest little cone of radius where we can't leave this circle.
Yeah, that's
If we
perfect.
Just get over
Yeah.
here.
I love that.
then we-
Cone of shame.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
good.
That's good.
Oh, keep us pointed at the mics too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you keep it narrow, I can't.
I'll make you wear the Britney Spears like the headset. mics.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna go get my notes now.
Okay.
And then we'll do session 0 together.
Okay.
This is the vibe. How do we feel about the vibe?
It's really
Great.
nice.
Yeah. Okay.
I love it.
Cool. Well, that's
I feel
good
like
then.
I'm in space.
great.
Oh,
That's
I
where
was
I
gonna
want you to
ask-
feel.
Can we
you
actually
are.
do a Western? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. That's fine. That's good.
Do you think
we are in the
Which changes to the inside of a carriage.
with or without the button up?
That's
I
up
wasn't
to you.
sure.
Consult the players.
Okay.
Do you want to wear the button up?
Oh boy.
You have been banned.
Pragmatic about this.
Can we see it without the button up?
Huh?
Can,
Yeah,
can
yeah,
we
yeah.
see what without the button up looks like?
It's just the wrists are tight and hard to get out.
It might not be possible
Are they
to go
tight
without
when
it.
it's on?
Thank
Is that
you.
comfortable?
No, they're like
Okay.
snug wrists.
Okay.
Snug is a bug in a rug.
Are
It's
you
just-
cold or are you hot?
Well, now I'm hot, but
There we go.
I want like a. I would. So the idea is this is what an AI.
Unbutton it. What are you
I know.
doing?
Never.
I'm dainty.
That's what I have. I got mine unbuttoned right now, but like
I'll just
I
have to
want to
break
fold
my
these
thumb.
up most lately.
Just
Yeah,
look at
fine,
my
I'm
thumb
done.
before I unbutton this fucking shirt.
So yeah, like this or with this.
I think just this is fine, but
Okay.
I don't know. I think both are all right, but I like
There's
just
no
I
wrong
like just
answer
the, I
here.
like just the blue. I think it's a very nice look.
I'm blue. Dabba dee dabba.
I was trying to look like
yeah.
semi-professional, but also like stylish AI hologram kind of thing going on, right?
What if you turn the shirt into a scarf or a shawl, a cashmere shawl? What does it look like just draped over your shoulders?
That's
Just,
actually not a
like,
bad idea.
loosely like a fucking cool anime bitch.
Hell yeah. As I fuck up the ears.
Oh no, they're
I
fine.
love the little bells. Shit, these little.
Oh yeah.
Do they
May I
ring?
jingle them?
Huh?
May I jingle them?
Yeah, go ahead.
Your bells.
I will say every time it touches the headphones.
I'm sure that's a
Everything
little
the light
a fun
touches
little
zip
thing
up.
right on the hammer of your ear.
Yeah. It's exactly like that.
Okay. One problem I don't have a good solution for yet is that this camera has a 30-minute record time limit. So we're just, every 30 minutes, I'm gonna go and hit the button, and that's gonna be fine.
That's weird.
Let me find.
Trying to get the other side. Yeah.
Here they are. Alas, behold.
Huzzah.
I don't know.
Behold and huzzah.
Yeah, there we go. That helps.
Hip hip.
Okay, now let's see how.
Hip hip.
I think you look cold.
After all that. Oh.
I don't know. Anyway.
No, this works.
Okay, great. Do that then. Glad we all contributed to that
here.
conversation. Very good.
Very good. That happened. Love it.
I'm looking amazing right now. Am I not wearing my glasses? Where'd my glasses go?
I'm looking mine.
Are they
Add
upstairs?
glasses?
Or did you not even bring them?
I haven't seen you with glasses the entire time you've been here.
I had them.
Okay.
They're in this house.
Okay, calm down. What?
Don't
The
gaslight me.
hostility.
Mike's so conflict avoided that immediately it's a sign of disagreement. It's like, okay.
It's really just how I go.
Cleo not even fighting. Like, I just thought I had them here. Sure,
Right.
yes, you did. You're right.
Yeah.
100%.
I'm sure.
That is the case.
I have no other information to dispute. I've said what I've said. Okay.
I said what I
I
said.
feel like newscasters with their paper.
I'll
Yeah.
I'll just do
Okay.
this all the
Yeah,
time.
I aspire to finish this table before we begin actual gameplay.
That's
Just
good.
thought you'd like to know.
That's good.
I don't intend to just leave it unfinished.
This looks great.
My glasses.
All the just kind of stuff on the middle and a big old light that I can't put anything on. I'm scared I'm gonna break. I'm glad I'm the only one that seems to have a courtesy charger on their station. That makes me feel very privileged.
It's not a courtesy charger. Nobody will have phones.
right.
And today you can, but
Yeah,
when
okay.
we're playing real gameplay and the table actually works, everything you need will be in front of you. And we won't do any
Are
films.
we just
'cause
like
that way we
establishing
things
like
each.
relationships maybe before like the session, like see like
Sessions,
they have any like
so session 0 is like a
relationship
framework session.
Yeah.
So I actually have a list of things to go through. Let me see how many things are on my list here. I've got 12 things that we need to go through. We're through one of them, which was the tech check. So that's great. That's a good. That's good progress.
Don't we have that every session?
It'll be ideally in the future. We'll just be like what we did last time.
Ah.
We do that again. Unlike this time where this is really like a test for me of all the different tools. So hopefully those work great. Now I'm vamping because Cleo's away. Cute.
Yep. Helping.
I love that for you.
Yep. Yep.
Yup.
Yes.
It's different without the like vibey music of the tavern talks.
Yeah.
Like, we normally have the like bopping music. Maybe I should put some on for today, just because our sessions are going.
I don't know. Light.
Do you have any
some light
space
jazz?
Space elevator
Space
music?
jazz. Let me see what I can do for some space jazz.
Yeah, some space music. What did I need to get rid of on this? No, change it anyway.
Voss, you know what I do have? As I have my Bluetooth thing. I just remembered in my car. I can plug into this and then
Does it-
my earbuds.
Does it have the wired?
Yeah, like it has an aux like thing connector into that.
You are welcome to try whatever you want.
That would
buddy.
just be just for today. I was like
That's
trying
fine.
to think. I know I have like I just it all depends if I have my earbuds sitting in my car too.
Man, I didn't even think about the fact that I was just like, yeah, let's like set the vibe, except that you can't participate in the vibe.
No, it's just fine. Like
Bring
I just
headphones.
it's just like the music. I kind of want to hear, but I'm thinking if there's any other way. I was like, I know I have my Bluetooth. Like
I have a
Bluetooth
really
receiver.
uncomfortable set of over-ear headphones I can loan you for the day. Cleo's had
If
to
I
use them
can't, if
before.
I have my earbuds, then I'll just use those for the day, and it's just
Okay.
Bluetooth connection. And they'll last.
That's fine. Oh, careful, boopin'.
Don't ruin the setup.
This is a delicate spaceship.
I'm out of here.
Yes, that's probably good. He's already tied up. He's coming. Come on.
And then there were two.
Everyone.
Just you and me, Mike. Battle to the death.
All right. Okay. Yeah, I'll die. It's okay. No, you got this.
No,
I don't
think
want to
I'll
bother
die.
you. I don't want to trouble you.
I think. No, Mike. I'm gonna die.
But,
You're gonna live.
no, come on now. No. I mean, if you say so, I guess. I'm not going to do it. If you're going to do it yourself, then by all means, but
No, I'm not gonna kill you.
no. Okay.
I'm not
might.
gonna kill me.
I'm just going to blow up the ship.
I might just kill both of you.
How about a classic?
The elevator music. Sorry, the
Reticulator.
Viticular?
Verticulator.
Yeah, I knew it was an aider.
I knew it was an aider.
Just remember that name.
I've always known it was an aider. So now we're waiting on Tyler.
Yeah.
It's great. But
But
now we've got our fun little verticulator music.
It's a classic.
oh, what did we fall down on for JAQLINE spelling out? It was. Wait.
I think I wrote it in your little video
Oh,
script.
did you?
If you've got that on your phone, which is okay if you don't, because we're gonna print them out for you today. But
Not supposed to have your.
Which one?
the JAQLINE one,
Oh, gotcha.
I think you because that one's like a little.
On the
Reading
backstory
video.
document, it's spelled JAQLINE.
Yeah, but the acronym is actually LINE.
Fuck me.
we dropped the E.
Yeah, Mike. How dare you
God
not know?
damn it. Just shouldn't
No
have-
luck.
Just shouldn't have talked.
If you look on the top of that black cart over there, there should be a set of black and red headphones that are incredibly uncomfortable.
They'll do the job. I'm pretty sure I used them once.
Do they have a cable coming out? That cable will work, I think. You'll see like a jack on the bottom of them. I have you were there when I got those, I think. Freshman year.
Do all three of us have the same earbuds?
KZZSTs.
I think so.
They're the earbuds I recommend for sure. They're the best value for money on the market, in my opinion.
For all the audience.
They are very comfortable.
I don't think it matters, whichever end fits.
I see.
You
I see the script we worked on the other night, and I see the one for Trevor.
Great. You don't see your own?
No.
It's in our message history. I'll send it
Is
to you
it?
again, though.
I feel like I get gaslit.
You are not being
By
gaslit.
yourself.
Do you need me to go reply to that message to prove to you that it exists?
Yes.
I don't think I
And it's an old message.
No, you don't.
goes in.
You don't.
March 9th,
No, you don't.
8:57 p.m.
No. No, you don't.
Cleo gaslit herself.
The receipts, I have them.
Can you hear
Did that
us,
work, Tyler? That one might not go the whole way in because it's got the big red thing at the end. I'm sure it's the connection to the headphones that is.
This one has
Suspect.
2 rings. This is 3 rings. I don't know if that means anything.
It does mean something. I can't tell you what though.
This one won't even
I can
fit
tell you
in
what,
to
it's
the
just-
adapter.
Yeah.
This one starts to go. I start to hear a little sound at some points, but not.
You're like Chris Angel. I almost didn't see that.
Mind
It's fine,
freak.
it's really good. It's not a big deal.
That was almost incredible, Mike.
Mike, mind freak.
Oh wait, this might be the wrong wire.
I'm so glad it wasn't the wire.
Oh my god, what are those headphones?
I just realized they have a skull candy ring.
They're headphones.
They really do look like
They're
the
space
cousin
headphones.
style headphones. Oh, they're the space ones.
Yeah.
Oh, and they squeak too. That's
They
good.
only work in space.
Guys, I'm actually here and part of the game now.
Hey.
Can you hear us?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Josh. You are the man.
You're welcome.
I will have mine. Oh my gosh.
Are we going to be rolling any dice today?
We might be.
Okay, cool.
It's not out of the question
Okay.
for this
Was
game that
not-
relies on the rolling.
It wasn't on the list of things we needed to bring to dice.
I think
I've
dice
got
are
a big
always
bag of
assumed.
dice right there in the middle of the table too.
I have some extra dice too
But
if you need it.
there's no actual gameplay planned for today.
Right. That's what I figured.
Wow. All right. We can all hear?
Yeah.
You can also hear.
Sorry, Tyler put on those headphones, and in the mic I just heard creak. As he, like, went to the
Every time I turn my head, you hear it.
mic. Tyler, like, a big cloud of dust shoots out into the room.
Tyler, huh?
This guy.
This guy.
Wow. Welcome to session 0.
Woo, we made
Our
it.
adventure. We're here. I've got a list of things that I want to go through. Session 0 for Tabletop Adventures is just kind of a fundamentals session. It's like laying some groundwork. Some of you have done this with me before. Tyler, you have not. Welcome. New guy. We love you.
I am
Glad
excited.
you're here. One of the things so I've got this list, so I'm just going down the list. We did our tech check already. This is the tech. We're testing it. If this video ever arrives, then the test worked.
Yeah.
And yeah, so let's start with the campaign premise. So we're calling this adventure the Glittering Canvas, which is our name for the cosmos, essentially. And this is a sci-fi adventure. The premise is that you are members of the crew of the first human ship to leave the Milky Way. You're going on a deep space exploration mission where you'll have very little contact with the rest of humanity to try and find Cosmeridium. It's our magic material, our MacGuffium, if you will. You cannot go home until you find it. Who knows what other adventures you might have out there at the edge of the universe, but that is the overarching premise of our adventure. Yes.
Actually, it's cosmetalene, unrefined.
You're right. The raw material is cosmetalene. Is this how JAQLINE speaks?
Actually.
Okay, so campaign tone. So for this one, we're a little bit more grounded than we've been, which I mean is not saying much, but a little bit more grounded than we were for the cleanup crew and for the Urida adventures. This is because it's sci-fi instead of fantasy. We will find ourselves in more circumstances where things are supposed to have explanations. You as the players have the ability to invent those explanations as well as me, right? We've talked about limited lore authority before, where it's like if it fits the moment and it doesn't really have any strong implications on like the grander narrative, you can just do it in the scene. Like if you're in a back alley and you are like, yeah, I kick over the pile of trash, you don't have to check with me, is there a pile of trash? It's a back alley, there's probably a pile of trash. In the same way, when we're out there in sci-fi world and I hit you with something like, you know, oh, a machine is flashing a red alert message, it's okay for one of you to be like, Captain, the machine says further diagnostics are required. Like, you don't have to check with me with the exact messages, or, you know, whatever. Like, we're all kind of building those scenes and stories together. But tone-wise, we are like a little bit more grounded in that, like, there's this handful of people you can interact with. The crew has 20 people, including the 4 of you, so 16 other people, and those are going to be most of our roleplay interactions, are interacting with those people. We'll get here in a second, but like, there is no first contact story in our universe. As far as we know, humanity are the only ones out there. So in that regard, maybe play a little bit more into those relationships. You know what I mean? Like, tone-wise, we're going to be exploring a little bit more of the social side of everything as well. There are no throwaway characters, right? In D&D or in like the fantasy world, it's really easy to like go and make a fool of yourself in the bar or whatever, because you're like, I'll never have to see this person again. I can do whatever I want here. Who cares if I rob that bank? They don't have the resources to follow me. But in this, it's like you're stuck on a ship with these people. You know, think about the longer term implications of your actions. In fact, I'll show you on one of them. All of my NPCs have a page, and one of the things I am tracking like all the time in like hard data is their sentiment towards you. So you have strikes and saves for each character per NPC. So every time you do something they love, I put a mark in the saves. Every time you do something they hate, I put a mark in the strikes, and that's going to influence how they interact with you throughout the game. So that's just a little bit different than it's been in the past. Yes.
Is this like tracked down to the character level, or just as our group as a whole?
No, I'm tracking it to the character level.
This feels, I've been playing a lot more Stardew lately, and this feels like romancing the people in the village. Do I have to give them gifts and talk to them every day for them to like
Yeah.
me?
It's like a Tamagotchi where like if you ignore them for too long, they die.
Oh, it's like logging into your Animal Crossing after like a month, and they're just like, "Hey, where you been? Why are you not talking to me anymore?"
I wonder how many
happy.
other animal raising sims we can find to compare this
Come
to.
on.
I was just
All
saying,
of them.
I'm just happy that, if somebody else goes and is rude to the NPC, the rest of the party, it doesn't reflect ill upon,
Unless they're saying that Jacqueline said that you're ugly.
Oh no!
Oh.
Oh no! And then you
Jacqueline
sabotage
did-
each other. We'll get to PvP. That's one of my items.
We kill the
Social
whole crew and
PvP.
commandeer the ship.
Mutiny.
No, so in every game, every tabletop game, there are some safety features. We've talked about these before, some of us, but they are lines and veils. And these are ways that we're trying to protect each other and ourselves as we play this game, because role-playing means that you're getting into a different character is going to have different experiences from your own, and there are certain experiences that people are or are not comfortable having. So we're going to all kind of go around and talk about what our lines and veils would be. I'll go first just to kind of set the example, but everybody should be talking here. For me, lines are things that can't happen in the story at all. So for me, a line is animal abuse. I just can't handle it. So there are lots of things that can happen in the world. You can torture humans all you like, but like I just can't handle it. That's like one of the things that my brain can't do. Veils are things that can happen in our story, but we're not comfortable role-playing them at the table. For me, that's like romantic or sexual relationships. It's okay for you to have a girlfriend, but don't make me role play her, right? Like I'm not gonna try and get into character and I'm not gonna flirt with you, at least not intentionally. So those are like my two big ones that I always come back to. What other lines or veils are there that people don't, want us to be careful about?
Mine are, animal abuse is the same for me for lines. I don't think I have any veils.
Okay.
Do whatever you want. I don't know.
I
Don't be
was
a
gonna
bigot.
say, I don't really have anything that I think anybody else at this table would like engage in that I would be uncomfortable with.
Okay.
So like I can't think of something that would happen realistically.
Okay.
That's where I would be. It's like, it would just be like some. It's I would have to
mean,
see
like-
if it pops up. Like I'm saying the same way. I don't think anyone here would do anything that I would be upset with. Like
Yeah.
don't be
I guess the
racist,
thing,
don't be
though, is, like-
homophobe. That's about it for me.
Like I think I could take some like light fantasy jabs, but like yeah, I don't know. I don't think anybody at this table would go over the top like we're using the slurs today.
We're offending as many as we can.
This character is really bad.
No, that-
And speed run, any percent.
it's like, oh no, that's his character. That's just what he's just that way with everyone.
Tyler, can you think of anything?
I mean, as I kind of, I like to think that myself is like a safe space, and I feel that I'm also in a safe space for that reason with just everybody here. So it's like I can't think of anything that like, I feel like everybody else is just already on the same page, that we're not really gonna go too crazy and offend anybody or call anything out that does, doesn't need to be called out. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously animal abuse, that's a no-no. I would say, obviously anything like racism and all that, but I'm sure everybody kind of gets that
Yeah.
already. And yeah, no, I think we're good. The veil, no, that's all you. Enjoy that. I'll try my hardest to not,
Yeah, if you could
Romance.
just try not to rizz me up at the table, I would love that, Tyler. It's just,
I'll make you a burger.
look, I've been happily married for 7 years here. I need to make it to 8, so I need you to tone it down, okay? Because
just 8, you say?
Josh is a non-romanceable NPC.
That's right. That's exactly what I am. And that does bring us to a second safety feature, which is that at any point in time during the game, if you do feel uncomfortable, you can say, "Hey guys, can we pause for a second?" And that's kind of like a trigger word, right? You're gonna activate Bucky Barnes. It's gonna, that like, "Hey guys, can we pause for a second?" That's kind of a sign to everyone, like, "Hey, we're gonna step out of the game. We're gonna step out of character. Something has to be addressed. Someone's uncomfortable." And this is a safe table to do that, and it's okay to do that, whether we're live or whether we're not live, whatever. Like that's a thing that you can always say. And like we are as a group, I think, pretty sensitive to that kind of stuff. Like we want to make the table safe for you and for each other. So if you do feel uncomfortable, you can say so, and like we'll go back even as far as, "Hey guys, I just realized that like we're kind of going down a path that maybe I'm not comfortable with. Can we like, retcon time a little bit and change that decision we made?" And like even that kind of stuff, like that's all okay. It's a game. We're playing a game. It's okay to save scum it sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, nothing wrong with checkpoint.
Yeah.
So that's another one of our safety features that I think is good. And then in this one, because it's sci-fi, I think there is a second question that we should be able to ask at any time, which is, wait, how's that work? Sci-fi is a universe or a style of storytelling that really like everything wants an explanation. Like, and I think that it can be okay for us to not be rocket scientists and for us to have the freedom to like, oh my gosh, my character's going into 0G and I have no idea what that would be like. Like, how would that work? Can we talk for a second about like, what does that mean for my character? Or, oh my gosh, I just realized like I'm playing this hacker and I don't really know how to like break through a command line. Like, what would it be like for me to, what would I already know? And we can kind of work that out at the table as a group and give that context and decide, including rewriting physics, right? It's okay for us to be like, hey, I'm trying to repair an engine and I don't know how an engine works. Like, what do you think is reasonable to happen? And we could talk about it and be like, yeah, it makes sense that maybe we like lose some speed, but whatever. And, Zach in the chat is going to be like, well, technically, and it's okay for us to just not get all of our physics right. That's like, we don't have to be engineers to play our engineering game.
I'll do my hardest to not be that person.
If you have the answer, that's great. And if you also like,
You just
that's-
always have to come back to the
Actually,
for every actually, everybody else gets an XP and Cleo loses XP the players earn. It's like a reverse GM intrusion. Great. So those are kind of our safety features. We have lines, we have veils, we have, hey, can we pause for a second? And we have, wait, how's that work? And then in addition with lines and veils, I want to ask some specifics because with that focus on like, okay, these are interpersonal relationships. These NPCs need to feel real. We're going to be putting a little bit more depth in your characters as well. Like in order for characters to feel real, they have to carry some kind of brokenness. Are there kinds of brokenness that we cannot explore at the table. You know what I mean? Like, it sounds like, and everybody has said racism. So, like, great. That's a kind of brokenness that just not all of our characters are going to be freaking paragons of racial inclusion. And that's great. That's one of the prerequisites to get on it. We're racist against racists on this boat, and that's fine.
Damn right.
Are there other ones that it's like, we can't explore that? I wrote some examples. So, like, differing political convictions, relational betrayal, sexism, any of those kinds of things that we're like, hey, we don't want this in the game. We don't want to, have character, even if it's a growth arc for that NPC, right? Like, just, I don't want to touch that.
I don't think there's anything for me.
As long as, like, I don't know, I feel like for the relationship betrayal, like, if it was just like cheating, that's like, I don't know, I can get past that. I feel like if it was like something...
I was thinking more like getting stabbed in the back for a promotion at work kind of relational betrayal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like those interpersonal things. Since nobody's risen anybody at the table, like the infidelity or whatever, like that's a thing that I think characters could explore. I just wouldn't want to role play it with you.
No, I don't think the infidelity would be like the context of it. I don't know. Wouldn't want to get deep into it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if something like that came up and you didn't feel safe, you can always say, hey guys, let's pause for a second and we can just change it. But great. So I just wanted to ask about those things. Okay. So with that in mind, let's meet each other's characters. Let's maybe go around a little bit and kind of have you can maybe introduce yourself in character a little bit. And just like for the fun of it. I'm currently dressed as Captain Chet Gamma. Captain Chet Gamma, he's a younger guy, 24, 25. He's been put in charge of this ordeal, this mission, because they needed someone who was distinguished, and he's a fighter pilot, but they needed someone young because there's no guarantee that this ship will come back, and none of the old like rear admirals and whatever are willing to do it. So he's got a little bit of the chip on his shoulder of like, okay, I have to prove myself because I know that like this position is not necessarily something that I have earned fully, but it's something nobody else wanted. So it's this mixture of being both a great honor and kind of a trash assignment, and I need to like really prove myself here. When I come back with this freaking Cosmeridium, I'm gonna get some respect on my name. Kind of a, that's Captain Chet Gamma. So yeah.
Hello. I'm Mark Putty.
Hi, Mark.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Mark.
Hi, Mark Putty. I'm pretty much Mike, but in space.
Space Mike.
Space Mike.
Get Mike in.
I'm gay. It was when I was going through the characters. We went through the questions about has he been in relationships before. And I was like, yeah, 2 or 3, but they didn't work out. I'm like, those don't have to be girls if I don't want them to be. I don't know why I've got my own internal kind of thing about that.
I did not ask on the questionnaire, has he been in any cis relationships?
So yeah, he likes his nails painted. He keeps to himself. I keep to myself. I've never really had too many friends. Not because like I'm a little weird. I just like keeping to myself. I like playing with my computers. I really like curry. I got a machine that's specifically just for making any kind of curry I want in my room. I put in the rice, I put in the veggies, and I put in the protein, and it chops it and does it all. And that's all it does. And I eat that pretty much every day.
Nice. That's pretty baller.
Isn't it incredible?
The curry favor 3000.
Curry favor. Yeah, I'm on the run for my life.
That in there.
Just
Just to finish up.
just kind of uncovered a big not a conspiracy. I'm trying to remember my
Scandal, I
lines.
think
A
is the word.
scandal, a major scandal at my lines. What's the goddamn company? The heavy something transport. Heavy care transport. Heavy care transport. I uncovered a thing, and now I changed the name of someone else on the roster to be here. Now I'm a data engineer. I don't know if that's too much.
That's fine.
We've already shared that before, but hi.
I again.
Hello, I'm Jacqueline, and I am a jet-assisted quantum learning interstellar engine.
Navigation engine.
Damn
So
it.
good.
That's awesome.
But you can just call me Jack for short, if I like you, which I don't yet. But yes, I have been working with Chet for quite a while now as we prepare for this mission, and it's gonna go and be a great mission because I helped design it, and there can't be any other way it goes. I will now take questions. The silence has been long enough. There are no questions. Please continue.
The name is Ronan Voss. I am a ex-space pirate, now your head chef here on the ship. I left pirate life behind after a run-in with the heavy armament company. So I am also somewhat on the run from them as well, but more prepared than they are when the time comes. But I am here to cook you up amazing meals, to keep you healthy, and all I ask in return is no conversations.
I like this guy.
Return is leave
Like
me
it.
the F alone.
I am Astro Adon. I am approaching my retirement from my spacefaring career, and I'm here to hopefully make the amount of money I need to retire and pay off some debts. I'm your supply officer. I've been on ships my whole life, so I know how most of them work. Can do basic repairs.
I love him so much. Such a gentleman.
I love his voice. That's a really good one.
I'm so glad that I waited until after you've joined to let you know that perhaps is not the best financial decision to prepare for retirement.
Hey, we're paying 10 above the union.
We're getting paid.
Yeah, that's right. You're getting paid in experience, Mr. Pirate. That's so funny. That's awesome. I love all your characters. They're so fun. One question that I have for us is where we want to pick up the story. I can think of two different places we can jump off to begin our story. We could start when the ship deploys. So like session 1, you're on the ship, we go into deep space, the mission begins. Or we could start at like day 1 of boot camp, right? Like this is a really prestigious, like first of its kind sort of space mission. There's obviously like a year-long training program type thing. And we could start there, which would give you a chance to like meet some of the other crew like at the table. Or if we start at deployment, then we're going to choose some relationships that you formed at boot camp. You know, like we'll find you a rival, we'll find you a friend, we'll find you a confidant, you know, that kind of thing.
I do have to say, I do find it really interesting if these two wanted people spent a year in training and have to spend that entire year before they board the ship evading any potential like things that could lead back to them.
I think personally, I think role playing and playing out boot camp would be fun. But I wouldn't be mad if people would rather start at the beginning of the journey.
I think my favorite part is the alarm clock that wakes us all up for boot camp.
Yeah.
The boot alarm. That's what we call it.
When that alarm goes off, can we pause like whatever we're doing?
Yeah,
That way, like, yeah.
Okay, so Trevor, you think something, but I didn't hear what you think.
Oh, you're good. I feel like I would want to play out boot camp and build those relationships.
And I wouldn't necessarily make you guys do like an entire year-long boot camp. We'd probably do like a little bit of a montage of like scenes from boot camp kind of a thing.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think I would enjoy just kind of jumping right in and having those like kind of go over the relationships we built there. And being right in space, but I'm fine with doing boot camp and having fun little initial, like you said, pre departure anxiety of like I'm just on Mars getting trained for a year. They won't find me. That could be fun.
What do you think, Cleo?
I honestly, the only thing I can think of is that JAQLINE wouldn't be very useful during boot camp. I can think of a few scenes where I could potentially help some of these wanted people, show a little independence from my AI, you know, and just, I don't know, a little like, oh, why is the AI protecting what's clearly a criminal and they know it? You know, other than that, I could see us just jumping right in.
Okay, so you've said I can see us doing either thing. I would like you to pick one of those things that you would prefer to do.
I would probably prefer jumping right in.
Okay.
Learning and discovering the relationships as more of a mystery rather than like, okay, here's the backlog of X lore, if you will. Exposition. Because that's what I feel like it's going to be like. It's like, oh, you have to watch this episode to get all the relationships and the backstories.
That's a fair thing to think.
Yeah.
What do you think, Tyler?
I originally, like, I kind of do agree with the jumping right in. I like the whole thing that it'd be funny for like a relationship between us since we're running from the same thing, or
that relationship can still exist.
Absolutely.
Like we can just set that stage here.
That's what that would also mean, like, and then the one thing I thought of was exactly what you said, like how we would get Jacqueline to kind of fit into that, because technically it's like a shipboard AI. So
yes.
So I kind of agree with jumping right into it.
Okay. Is it? Will it be a deal breaker for you?
No.
Okay. Well,
Trevor's
then,
like, I'm out.
Trevor leaves, stomps out of the frame.
Unbelievable.
Oh no, that's fine.
Okay, great. Well, then we will pick up kind of like when the ship is deploying, or I might start us off with like a press conference where it's like, you know, we're watching you, but Chet Gamma is at the podium. So it's like watching, you know, the little interactions before you get on the ship and deploy or whatever.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
But like we'll start like on kind of the day that the mission begins. So that's fun. And I love that. Let's see what's next on my list here.
I love that I just realized this is a floor lamp. Shoved into here. Just see the base of it sticking out like, oh.
Yep.
Very cool.
They're actually both floor lamps.
I see,
You'll
yeah.
note that one of them is not turned on despite them both being plugged in. Not sure what's up with that. I'll work on
I think
that
it
eventually.
was. Am I crazy?
I don't know. Well, yes, you're crazy. I don't know if this is evidence.
Yes.
Jokes.
Union.
Okay, we're on 9 of 12, by the way. We're doing great here. Donations here. Okay, so then we are going to pick some connections that we made during boot camp.
Okay.
What I'd like is for everyone to have at least a rival, confidant, or friend. So we need one of these things that is a relationship you formed during boot camp, in addition to your relationships to each other. Right, so you know each other. You've just been a whole year freaking stuck together, and we can work out what that dynamic is first, and then we'll kind of go through and who might be a good relationship for you to have. I have the whole crew here, so I can go through like speed dating and kind of read you like what all the names are and stuff, or the roles. Who do you hate?
Who do you love?
Yeah, I know. Right after I talked about
Swipe
not
left.
rizzing each other up, we can go down here and speed date the crew. So why don't we start with kind of your relationships to each other? So everybody knows Jacqueline because Jacqueline is involved in the recruitment and hiring of all of you. Like all of your... Hello. Chet Gamma didn't see your file until Jacqueline looked through it and decided you were worth getting, with the exception of Ronan Voss, who was hired for making a good burger. And we'll see that in his little scene later today. I think it's very fun. But how do you feel like Mark Putty interacts with Jacqueline, given that Mark is, one, like a little bit of a hacker, and two, Jacqueline is data.
Jacqueline is data.
I am data.
I am data. I don't know. That's something I've been a little concerned about, not just like with the relationship with Jacqueline, because he is just kind of an introverted person, so I don't see him being particularly close with anyone on the ship. But if there was anyone, I feel like it would be Jacqueline, just because he's gonna be like in the systems all the time.
I mean, personally, I feel like Jacqueline probably saw what you were doing in order to get on this roster, saw the talent, and was just like, I'm gonna take you under my wing. And maybe Jacqueline has never explained that to you, but Jacqueline's always willing to put an ear out for you and like be like, what do you need?
So do you feel like then, does Mark avoid Jacqueline, or is Mark excited to see Jacqueline, do you think? Like, is there a little bit of trust there maybe?
I think if she's like being warm towards him, I think he would be more comfortable around her. Gosh, if he doesn't know that she saw what he did, I think he'd be absolutely mortified to know that he got caught.
He's known the whole time.
Yeah, because he thinks he's so slick. Like,
What do you think is more fun and interesting to roleplay for the two of you? Is it more fun if Jacqueline knows, but he doesn't know that she knows? Or is it more fun if Jacqueline has been like, hey, I saw what you did and I think that's cool. You know, like and there's like a little bit of like a bonding over it almost.
I think it'd be better if I don't know, because I feel like Mark, if he found out that Jacqueline knew, no matter how much he trusted her, he'd still be scared that someone else would get in and find it out, and I would be worried worried that I'd go in and try and scrub something out of Jacqueline.
I see.
To be like, no, you didn't. You didn't see shit, baby. So yeah, I think it's better if I don't know and just be like, oh, the ship system's really cool. I can trust data, you know?
Yeah, that's a good point for us to back up one stage here and talk about PvP. How do we feel collectively about PvP? As DM, it doesn't make a big difference to me if y'all want to get up in each other's faces or not. However, it can be kind of like difficult to tell a cohesive story, like as players knowing you have to work together, but as characters working against each other. Or sometimes that can be great. You know what I mean? Like to have those. Anyway, I just want to know what your thoughts are on it and whether we want to be kind of like open to all PvP or whether we want to kind of moderate that a little bit. What's up, buddy?
I have choices on that one. I have words to say because, every time I've been in their story, I always get fought by somebody that is supposed to be on my team.
Yeah, you keep guessing us as a foe.
Yeah. I feel like it depends what's going on in the story for like PvP. I feel like, there's like a heated argument over something. And maybe it's more deep than that. Like you just said something that really hurt me, like swing it. Something like maybe if it has to do with the story, if it could make for like a good.
So maybe letting there be those tense moments, but maybe nobody has goals to work against the party kind of a thing.
Yeah, it would just be like it'd be more like a spur of the moment type of thing. Like like you stole my thing, I'm mad at you.
I could see like light plotting. Be like, you've snubbed me in some way and now I'll get back at you, but not like I'm going to figure out how to destroy you, your life, your career.
Mm-hmm. Right. Or like someone who's on the ship, but like the goal is to take over the ship and do something else where it's like the whole time you're like subterfuge and working against the party. I feel like maybe that could be a little bit too much versus like, if we're going to explore those interactions, you're going to have to butt heads sometimes.
Yeah.
I feel like all of us most likely would work together. I feel like we would be the ones that would fight against anybody else that would be like a mutiny or something like that.
Yeah.
I feel like with a year, we all would somewhat have a relationship that's tighter enough to be like, okay, if shit hits the fan, I know I can come to you and you can come to me type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that makes sense.
I'm fine with it if it makes sense from a story perspective.
Character-wise, yeah.
We're stuck on a big can in space for a long time.
Yeah.
Probably
Yeah,
might bump heads every now and again.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But
I know, like,
They
I'm
just
going
taught
to
us
kill
already.
the entire crew. And,
Yeah.
yeah.
Jacqueline's just like, I'm going to purge the air from the ship.
I would never.
I wouldn't.
Okay. How do we feel like, so it sounds like maybe there's kind of like a tentative friendship here, but you don't know that.
Yeah, no, I
Jacqueline.
certainly, if that's the thing, if I've been caught, I certainly don't think I should know that.
Jacqueline, does Chet know? Did you tell Chet Gamma?
Oh, no.
No, okay.
Nobody but me knows.
Great.
Scary.
What about, how do we feel like Jacqueline and the ship's supply officer, Astro Adon, how do the two of you interact, do you think?
It's probably very like professional, and it's only happening in work-related situations.
I would say that, yeah.
So maybe not like a strong bond or anything between the two of you.
I would say Jacqueline would probably ask you questions about you know what, and that might get you like. Jacqueline will remember you because of that enough to be like, they've been dependable.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, I think beyond that, it's professional.
And what about with our chef, Ronan Voss? Is there some friendly banter or something like that
I feel like
happening
if
there?
anything, it would be most like I'm a chef. Like I feel like the
Pull
only
up
time you'd be
recipes.
coming in, it would be to check on me and maybe my well-being, unless unless you're here to check on food quality of any sort of time, or if you're to tell me about maybe somebody has diet stuff or like that. But Other than
I'm
that,
here.
just bantering.
Yeah, no, I literally come to your kitchen under the guise of like, I need to check food inspection. And instead, I get to sit there and spill the tea about stuff that I know that you'll never ever
Yeah,
talk
I'm just
about.
a listener. So, I'm just
So
like,
maybe
yeah.
Ronan is like your confidant a little bit.
Yeah.
Or maybe are the two of you each other's confidant? Does Ronan talk back?
I probably would talk back a little bit, but like most of the time, it's just me doing my thing and listening. You know, I mean that's kind
Just
of
grunting.
That's what my character is. Yeah, he's mostly that. I'm sure he would get some words out because he's not like too quiet. Like he likes to at least speak his mind a little bit, but only
Yeah.
doesn't. Not all the
He's
time.
not like your friendly neighborhood bartender.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just spill the beans about like random people's back history that they left in their file that they think nobody else.
I'll
has
raise
seen.
my eyebrows, shake my head a little bit.
I love
Did you know
that.
Timmy actually got arrested in 2000?
No idea.
That's funny.
That's crazy.
Lupin is in dismay. Poor dude.
It's a rough life.
Hard to be Lupin.
Is there a Tim or a Larry in
Timmy
the
on the
crew?
ship.
No, there are no Tims or Larrys. I think you'll be impressed with my names. I think I've done a good job coming up with interesting and original sounding NPC names. What about how does Ronan Voss interact with Astro Adon, do we think?
I feel like
Probably
we have a good
drinking
relation-
buddies.
We-
Drinking
honestly,
buddies?
Because like he's maintenance, right?
Yeah.
Who's to say like
The
my
supply officer.
My stuff is gonna my stuff's gonna break down or something like that. Like
Yeah.
my like.
I feel
That's fair.
I feel like it's that classic like work relationship where like we get drinks after work, but we don't talk.
No, it's simple. It's like we literally will start the job. Maybe the job's done. 2 beers handed out. Kind of
Yeah.
thing. Like
That makes sense.
Simple. It's
Starting
very, like,
sports simulation
very
number
King of
one.
the Hill, standing outside on the road style.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. And what about for Astro? I'm sorry, not Astro. For Ronan and Mark Putty, our two refugees from heavy care transport
I feel
here.
like we'd be more of a confidant just because we both are somewhat,
What if your two incidents are connected? So like,
Oh my god.
so
Got deep.
You recognize each other.
well, yeah. So like Ronan's thing that happened to him, basically. Sorry if I'm dumping all your secrets
No,
here,
I
but
can-
for the players, I think there don't need to be any secrets. Ronan was a pirate, and his crew attempted to steal a heavy care transport vessel, that's the word, a vessel, and it went like horribly wrong, and his whole crew died, and he like basically escaped on a technicality, like he, I guess at the last second maybe turned his vessel around or something, but for whatever reason, like he was kind of the only one of the only few survivors, and he just immediately like fled and started his life over, kind of a thing. What if your scandal that you leaked is that high value vessel, like someone on the inside had told the pirates about the vessel and like routed it in such a way that they could attack it.
And then
So the scandal is like the CEO was actually in on the piracy, and he was like, this one is, they're transporting all these precious materials or whatever. I'll send them on a route where the pirates can get them. And then it just like the plan failed because his heavy care transport defended
Too good of a
themselves
job.
successfully. Like they
Yeah.
did too good of a job.
would have been like more of a known pirate because there would have been not many space pirates going around at least. So like
Yeah.
probably would have been at least one of the targets.
It's an insurance scam.
Yeah, or something like that. And then Mark Putty, little data entry nobody, kind of finds out or maybe sees an email he shouldn't have, or something like that. And you like leak it to
Kind of
the.
goes towards my like thing that I hate too. That Ronan Voss hates is like he hates liars or like stuff like that. And that technically was like a whole lie that he was given this intel and it was just fake intel, and that's what got him completely destroyed.
I
That's
think
it.
that would be
the
it.
scandal
Like,
is the
he-
double cross.
Yeah, I
He
think the
leaks it
CEO
to the
would,
pirates
yeah.
with the goal of like driving up sales. Like, look, we defended ourselves against
Yeah,
these pirates.
that's what I would think.
And so like your people get slaughtered because he's like, it'll be totally undefended, and then you get there and it's like heavy guns and
Yeah.
everything, and it like.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
Yeah, I like that
It
angle.
was meant
That's
to be
cool.
just a smash and grab. Nobody was supposed to get hurt.
Yeah.
I think it'd be cool if at least some of my like old crew maybe got captured. Like that'd be something. But I wouldn't think. That would be the more traumatic experience. If everyone died. That would be like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm done piracy. Yeah, sorry guys, that was my bad.
Aren't you?
Yeah, he is. He is.
So how do you two find out what happens at boot camp where like the story comes, the rumor come out?
I feel like you would be the talker more than anything. I feel like for the most part, Mark would be
No,
not
that would
wanting
be
to
something.
share
Yeah, because
anything
I'm
for a
not. I wouldn't
while.
be ashamed of the pirate part. I wouldn't be outgoing everybody. But like, if someone were to ask me like about past, I'm just gonna, I start talking about it. So I feel like maybe we were just sitting around like a fire one night or something at nighttime, and it just happened that you and I were the last two at the fireplace, and you just asked, so what brought you here, and then cooking all that. Just backstory. Maybe I just started mentioning like, oh yeah, I went after a company and it just didn't go wrong, blah blah. And then maybe it hit you like, what company was that?
Yeah. I think if anything, I would have heard it at that moment and like come back to you later and been like, okay, you can't tell anybody.
Oh, yeah, no.
But I've been thinking about this and I need to get it off my chest. They're gonna kill me.
It would have probably been like a crazy awakening for him. And he would have been, most likely his answer would have been like, huh, all right. Like no reaction, but inside his head, he's probably like spinning. Like,
Yeah.
like
Light
all
work,
makes
no
sense.
reaction.
So a furious rage. So we shared that like rage slash like
Yeah.
paranoia, I guess, of like what could come.
Maybe plotting together.
That's the thing,
little
like,
bit.
yeah, like being extra prepared together for a situation like that.
Maybe. I think I would feel like you would try and get me in on it, and I'd be like, I don't want to fucking deal with it. I don't want any more trouble.
Like,
from
I don't want to
those
go
guys.
anywhere near them.
I would
Yeah.
just keep convincing him like you can't keep running forever.
Yeah, I think
That
we
would
have
be
a
my
good
thing.
relationship, but you keep trying to bring me back. Is like,
Yep.
we can get these guys. Like, all right, I'll talk to you later, man.
Yeah, and maybe
Oh,
that's
the
something
sun's
that we
weather,
can see
oh.
like even in the present. Like you haven't
Yeah.
convinced him yet, but you're like, oh man, like now a revenge plot is starting to form in my mind, and I need this guy in on it.
Yeah.
That's kind of interesting.
Maybe I don't know. Like revenge plot would be fun. I could think about something like that because I was just thinking like if they ever show up in the story, I feel like Ronan would just lose his shit.
Well, but how would they? You're gonna be on the edge of the universe.
I know,
man.
that's the part.
You're not gonna see anybody. And what about
Heavy transport.
Astro, Adon, and Mark Putty,
Probably not
the
much.
chief data engineer and the supply officer?
I don't know. I don't know if we would have crossed my paths. I mean,
Unless
as a
you come
person,
out
I want to love this guy so much. He seems so sweet.
What if Astro saves you from the classic bully scenario? Like some other sailors were giving you a rough time, and Astro
How-
comes over and helps.
How superstitious is Mark?
I'm not very. I don't think. No.
No, they're not going to bond over that.
I know.
Astro has some superstition.
Yes. Would you have come out drinking?
No.
Okay.
No.
Maybe they don't know
once or-
each other.
I think after, huh?
I said maybe you made it the whole way through boot camp, and the two of you have never met.
We like know of each other through other
You've
people.
probably been at like the meetings and
Yeah.
stuff, where
Just
it's
like
you're
kind
just
glance,
I might
like
have
the
been,
like
could
head
have
nods
mentioned
and
him
shit.
during
Yeah.
one of our drinking moments.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if there was ever a drinking moment, like you would have brought me in and like
Yeah.
just like we got a little thing. Maybe we didn't click
That's
too
where
much, but
Ronan
it was
gets
a
more
decent
talkative
time.
when he drinks.
Yeah.
Even then,
Yeah.
he's still
You more like acquaintances. You
Yeah.
know of each other.
Yeah.
Right, we're friendly.
Passing
towards
by
each
in the
other, but
hallway.
not-
like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
If you ever need supplies.
Yeah, I know you're always there, but it's like just like that kind of very friendly workplace acquaintance.
Yeah.
Look, it's my first draft of your focus. I wrote it on a plane.
That's beautiful.
Okay, so those are our relationships with each other that we've established.
That's so
If you
fun.
need to take any notes
I
for
love that.
yourself,
Yeah.
do so.
Yeah.
Is there anything flat? I keep writing on the tiny
know
little
if-
sliver, like the one line of flat I have here. Thank you so much.
I don't know if we want to do this now, but I think Tyler and we should establish how much we know about each other through our drinking nights.
You would. I feel like this is something we need to Discord message each other.
Yeah.
Because this is something I would not just tell to anyone lightly.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, they could know now, but like their character couldn't know.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. So
You should just text it to each other.
Remember that we're fully out of, like this is a day for the players. This is
Yeah.
not a day for the characters.
Oh yeah, no.
So
No, there's like some,
Well, we
you
can
probably
just
know
talk
like
about
some of
it.
my traumatic experiences. At
Yeah.
least what you would probably know the reason that put me into piracy.
Okay.
Because that's one reason. That's one thing I wouldn't really talk about. I'd more talk about like why I left piracy.
Yeah.
What's your guys' names again, you two?
Astro Adon.
Astro, Adon,
And Ronan Voss.
and Voss.
Whoa.
RV.
RV.
It's fun. I told Frith the name of the ship today is the Spirit of Inquiry, and they said soy.
The soy.
It's like, oh, that kind of makes it less cool. It's like, no, it's a good name. It's a good name.
It's a good name. I swear it's good.
Good. It's really good.
You accidentally name your company something like, I don't know, collection under nefarious terms.
What's the last name of your character, Mike?
Putty. Putty.
I'm just gonna go. So I feel like if Ronan would just call you Putty the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
How's it going, Putty?
Oh, yeah.
Is it Pudd or Putt?
TT, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, it's at least what it is on the sheet.
Would we have,
Yeah, I'm definitely calling you Jacques.
would we have any
Can we do that?
like, relationships with the captain?
Just Jack,
or
please.
has he not
can.
really?
He's definitely been around for
every
boot
time.
camp. A lot of his job during
Jack,
boot camp will be
but
to
okay.
run activities, teach, and that kind of thing. So I don't
Just
know that
run
there's
back.
a lot of like, he's been in the mess hall, he's been drinking with y'all, whatever. But it's not like
Yeah.
he's probably not like best friends with anybody
Okay.
except maybe like his bridge crew, like his helmsman and his communications officer and stuff.
Okay.
So I'm gonna read through some of the people on the crew and their positions here. And what we're looking for is one more strong relationship for your character that is different from the ones that you already have. So like Ronan and Mark already have kind of that confidant relationship. Ronan and Jacqueline have that kind of like safe confidant relationship. So Ronan, you're probably looking for like a rival, somebody who you've got some kind of beef with. And it could just be that there's someone who, has said something that rubs you the wrong way or whatever, but like you're probably looking for a little bit of a kind of a friendly nemesis sort of thing. I think that for Astro, you don't really have many strong connections with people. So you might be looking for two relationships. You might be looking for like maybe someone he's made friends with throughout the course of it. Someone who I think, especially with him being kind of like this sweet older guy, like in retirement, whatever, there's got to be someone who he's just kind of like befriended just by proximity.
Yeah.
And you might also be looking for someone who like really rubs you the wrong way.
Yeah.
Maybe some young whippersnapper, something like that. For Mark's thing is that he seems very like antisocial. Like he's not looking for a lot of relational connection with people.
Definitely
but
staying
he is
in his room most of his off time.
But he is stuck with this crew, and so I wonder if there is someone who he's either like maybe gets bad vibes from and like doesn't want to connect with them, or maybe there's someone who he's like, hey, we don't talk, but we have that sort of unspoken friendship.
Is
of,
there
like,
any sort of person who's way too chipper on this ship?
there certainly can be.
Okay.
There's definitely somebody who's trying to get you out of your shell.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
If there's
hate
any
it.
like really big extrovert, they're definitely my rival.
Okay, great. We'll see if we can find that person for you. So I'll start with the captain and the bridge crew. These are unlikely relationships, probably, since we kind of wanted to play nobodies, except maybe Jacqueline. If you wanted to kind of establish any relationships with them, you can stop me and let me know. We got Captain Chet Gamma. I haven't figured out everyone's voice. We have Saren Peters, the helmswoman. Her kind of distinct mannerism or quality is she is always preceded by her incredibly clicky high-heeled boots. Just everywhere, especially the metal ship, everywhere is just that like
Ding, ding, ding.
You know when she's coming
echoing down the
hallway.
hall. There's Adrian Wu, the navigation officer. We've got Finnegan Allsdale, our comms officer.
Sounds like a horse.
Yeah, Finnegan is
Clydesdale.
basically Morgan Freeman. How he speaks, we have Dean Lagrange, our compliance officer. This is the spook assigned to the crew by the government. Probably works for some intelligence agency or whatever, trying to make, like this is a high pressure mission. They want to make sure there's someone there who's kind of like overseeing everything. This person's probably in charge of discipline on the ship.
That's my rival.
OSHA.
Dean Lagrange is your rival.
That's my rival.
Just like I answer to nobody but Chet Gamma. And then there's Talia Bones, the security officer. So this is someone who works for Dean Lagrange. This is in kind of that compliance department.
Those are bones.
Bones.
Hell yeah.
Talia almost never speaks, super athletic build, scar on the cheek from some mysterious past. This might be someone who Ronan has a little bit of tension with, I can imagine.
I feel like I would have attention with either the higher up, that agent, or the security official, solely because they know of my pirate history. And they'd be like, wow, how could you, even though I'm away from it, they're like, how could you do something?
I'm thinking probably the intelligence agency spook doesn't care. I'm thinking maybe the security officer is a more likely rival for you in that regard.
Who's
Maybe
sorry, Talia?
Talia Bones, the security officer, and Dean Lagrange, the compliance officer. So you were thinking Dean Lagrange, kind of
Yes.
like CIA
Talia
spook.
is his
type.
rival by proxy.
Right. Talia works for the enemy.
Yeah.
That's just what that is. They would also be in charge of like the weapon systems on the ship in the event that the ship's weapons officer, who is Jennifer Rose, that's the next person on here, can't participate. Then we have, now we're moving into the science and research department. So we have the chief scientist who kind of oversees the science and research crew. That's Dragomir Hunt. And then I have an archaeologist and geologist, Ren Silvers. Ren is someone who's going to be on every expedition helping, mining and scanning and those sorts of things. There's Kaya Smith, the botanist, on board the ship. So they're going to manage the ship's greenhouse and then also anything to do with like foliage or plant life. That's going to come down to Kaya. Adelaide MacArthur, the spectrologist. So this is like when you want something scanned or you need readouts of a material or we found something and brought it back to the ship. It's going to be Adelaide who's running tests on it to see what the heck you found and what does it appear to be. Adelaide is also someone who's likely to get called up to the bridge often. We've arrived in a new area. There's a bunch of asteroids around us. Adelaide, get me a scan. Tell me what's out there, kind of a thing. So that's Adelaide MacArthur. We have Samantha Nova. Sam Nova is our fabrication specialist. So that would be like someone who's synthesizing raw materials into ciphers. Someone who is in charge of like if you need to construct prosthetics or like robot arms or whatever to do like space work or anything like that would come down to Sam Nova. Sam Nova might be a good connection for the supply officer. There could be a constant little tension there of like, but I need more materials. You'd be like, but do we really need to make another gadget?
Yeah.
Maybe there's a little bit of that.
I was thinking like it's more playful though. It's not like not like the rival. It's like more friendly.
Yeah, more like a friendly thing. And then
That's
there's
how you see it.
and then there's the engineering team. So this is more like maintaining the ship and keeping it working. This would be the crew that Astro actually works with.
Yeah.
So there would be Zara Lowe, who is our chief engineer, Dr. Zara Lowe to be specific. The engineering crew all report back to Dr. Lowe. Kyle Smith, twin of Kaya, is the ensign engineer. So this is basically just like a second in command. No ship like this is going to have only one person on board who knows how to fix the engines, right? This is so Kyle Smith is your ensign engineer. Julian Brooks, who goes by JB, is the robotics engineer. This is for all of the automated systems on the ship. If JAQLINE has something that doesn't work and needs someone with hands to involve themselves in fixing it, right? If it's a hardware problem, JAQLINE's probably calling JB. We've got the chief medical officer, Victor Meridia. And then, the chief supply officer, Astro Adon, would report back to the engineering team. So that's like your team as well. Yeah. You're probably the lowest on the totem pole of that team. There's the chief medical officer, Victor Meridia. Victor Meridia would be in charge of wellness for the crew, cryo and stasis. If you're injured, you'll need to go see Victor to get yourself fixed up. And that's your ship's crew.
Wow. Okay.
I know that's a lot of names. You don't have to memorize them all now. Like, I think it's going to be more like a handful of them will come up as we roleplay and we'll know like, oh, those are the ones who matter to us. But I wanted to know who everybody was to start with. What are you thinking is your kind of like strong relationships? What's sticking out to you?
So Samantha Nova, like we said, for like a closer relationship
Like a
and
friendly-
friend. And I think whoever's the most chipper, like Mike was saying, Astro probably wouldn't like also, and maybe they could bond over that their mutual hatred of that person.
We could at least share eye rolls with each other when they're talking.
I think Kaya Smith, your botanist, I feel like she could be really chipper. Kaya's got an Australian accent. Kaya Smith, really excited to be here, everybody. I'm just happy that we're on this voyage. I feel like we're gonna make some real progress for humanity out here.
That's the thing.
This is gonna be wonderful.
It's gonna be Ronan's friend.
Ronan, I love a good hamburger. Just like
The botanist having
wait to get out there.
having spices and herbs for me to like constantly try.
basil. Yeah, I could play some basil.
So probably Kyle would be a good friend to have.
Kaya Smith.
Kaya was the one I wrote down that I wanted to be my friend.
Oh, okay.
Oh no.
That's fine.
It's like,
We can change it.
If I want to be friends with Kaya.
I just thought it'd be fun to hang out with the
live.
plant person.
What if it's Adelaide who's really cheerful? And Adelaide is the spectrologist, so there could also be this idea that like she keeps getting called up to the bridge. She thinks she's better than everyone. She doesn't. She's just really upbeat. But you know that could be a thing that rubs people the wrong way too.
think
Just
that's
like,
fun.
oh, excuse me, gotta get back up to the bridge. You know how the captain is. It's kind of a.
What's so good about your
Or would
day,
there be-
Adelaide?
It's a beautiful day to see humanity.
It's dark as shit outside.
That's because it's space.
Oh my god.
Or is there someone who's like constantly losing supplies or breaking supplies? That would also
A
be
klutz, if you will.
Yeah, that would be someone Astro would not like.
That's fun.
Someone who's wasteful.
Let's see who could be wasteful on our crew.
I would probably hate them too because they're wasteful.
Yeah.
Wasting food.
Yeah, can we get somebody we all hate?
Oh my gosh, share. So we can just be the bottom of all jokes.
Everybody hates that guy.
Would it be the compliance officer?
Probably the
Talia?
compliance officer is a safe person to hate,
yeah.
Dean Lagrange. Just because Dean Lagrange probably doesn't give a crap what you think about him. I feel like if there was anyone else on the crew who was getting like mercilessly bullied, the captain would step in. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
That's true. Yeah.
but Dean Lagrange just being spooky and you know whatever, like that's a person who everyone could kind of blame everything on. Thanks, Dean. You know.
Damn it, Dean!
So
Just
that
his presence.
that's a possibility. There's also like we've got a lot of engineering and sciencey types on the ship. I wonder
Yeah.
if some of them could be a little wasteful. Like you know, the pursuit of the science is more important than the caring for the ship. I think especially like Ren Silvers, your archaeologist. That's a person who's probably always leaving a mess behind when they work. You know what I mean? Like there's dust everywhere and they're jackhammering into stuff.
Like, if I have
and
to
it's
constantly
mold
keep
from
track,
Atlantis. Sorry.
keep tracking down supplies, you know, like
Yeah.
because they don't bring them back on time or they get lost.
Yeah, and Ren is going to be on every expedition.
Yeah.
So that's another thing of like, hey, I'm going to need this for this expedition. You're like, well, did you put it back after the last one, Ren?
Yeah,
You know,
okay.
like there's.
That'll be my rival then.
Okay, I like that. And then Ren, on the other hand, is like, why are you being so stingy with all the materials? Like, I'm trying to do science out here. So that makes sense.
You said there was a medical,
A chief medical officer.
chief medical officer. I was thinking that might be my, what was it? It was rival, friend, what was the middle one?
Confidant.
Confidant.
I feel like having them as my confidant, as Ronan's confidant, would be best.
I thought
because,
Jackie
like-
was your confidant.
Oh, I already have. Oh, well, that.
You can have another.
I thought you were
guess.
talking about like outside of us. I only have a friend and rival outside of us here.
Okay. You don't need to have necessarily all three. I just want you
okay.
to have some like strong relationships that are outside.
That's the case. I'll just focus on Kaya's my friend.
I think you probably report to the chief medical officer.
I would
Like I
imagine.
think Ronan as like the ship's cook, that's probably like your lane a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Because then you're also like the backup nurse kind of thing.
Yeah, I do have
like,
some training in medical.
So
Talia definitely gonna be my rival just because I feel like she's gonna have something. She's definitely gonna have something against pirates. Being
being just from that security, maybe she like comes from that heavy care transport background. Like that's how they found her. Is
fought
like
each other before.
I don't think we're gonna go that far. I think that would be a recipe for disaster.
Oh man, mutiny.
What do you think?
So I've already written down Dean Lagrange.
You and Dean Lagrange are not friends.
We're not friends. Talia is like, you're the stooge of the person I hate, so I don't, you just, bad luck on your part.
That also makes sense because Dean Lagrange would be the only person you had no hand in selecting.
Yes.
Like the compliance officer is for sure assigned to your ship. They're not someone who you like looked for the right crew. That's someone who you got.
And that's exactly
That's probably what
it
you
is.
bantered me about.
Yeah,
because we
yeah,
both
yeah.
hate them.
Freaking Dean.
And then I was thinking Adelaide or geologists and whatnot.
Yeah,
'cause they do a lot of analyzing and data digitizing a lot of the data that they pull in. I might like him just for that reason.
Adelaide's a her, but that's fine.
Oh, her. Sorry.
That's okay.
And then, I mean, JB just fixes my shit.
That's
so.
true. So there's probably some like, hey JB, hey, wouldn't you love to go visit the reactor room right now? Wouldn't that be great, JB?
JB, I got work for you.
Time for you to earn your friggin' salary.
Time for you to do the whole reason I invited you.
That's fun. That's cool. I like that you picked Adelaide MacArthur because in my head, Adelaide MacArthur is just Amy Pond from Doctor Who.
Oh yeah, okay.
Karen Gillan, which is just such a fun like character. So I'm glad they'll get to play that a little bit. What are you thinking for Mark Putty?
The only ones I wrote down were potential friends, and that was Kaya Smith, the botanist, and Sam Nova, gadget maker.
Why do you think that Kaya Smith would be a good friend?
Just because I think Mark would enjoy being around someone who likes plants. Just that feels like a nice person, just a common presence.
I can imagine Kaya being someone who, much like Mark, kind of prefers the company of the work to the company of people. Like, the plants are friends enough for me.
That'd be nice. I also feel like when I was doing the character creation, one of the closest person to him is his sister. And like she's been off planet for a long time, and I think he would very much enjoy just a nice positive female figure.
Yeah, a nice like sisterly relationship kind of
just
a thing.
something where we can chill.
Yeah.
That'd be nice. So I was only looking at friends. So I didn't
That's
fully.
okay.
Was there anyone who would I work like closest with? Like, is there some other data guy?
I'm thinking you probably are on the research team.
Yeah.
I think you're probably at the bottom of the research team. So like anytime these people do research, they're like, great, Mark, enter it into the ship's log. I don't have time for paperwork. You know what I mean? So it could be any of them. I can go back through the list of who's on like the science team if you want.
Yeah, if you don't mind.
The chief scientist is Dragomir Hunt. And then we have Ren Silvers, your archaeologist. So they're mining and such. Kaya Smith, your botanist. Adelaide MacArthur, your spectrologist, all of the scans and like trying to figure out what things are. Sam Nova is the fabrication specialist. And that's the team. And then there's you. Woo. There's an engineering team as well who can keep the ship running. Maybe there's some interaction with them that you could not love.
Potentially. I mean, there's no one on that particular list of at least the science team that makes me feel like I would hate them for any reason. I feel like he would just hate anyone else that does stuff similar to him that is. I just see
better.
Someone that he's got to like sit next to all day while he's doing things that just like won't stop talking to him for some reason.
What if it's Kyle Smith, Kaya's brother?
Oh my God.
The ensign engineer is like the second in command. I feel like being the second in command engineer, as long as your chief engineer is still like conscious and working, he's like, well, I don't have anything to do. I'm just gonna stroll around the ship. I'm gonna see what everybody else is up to.
bro.
You know, like he's just kind of like broing it up.
I would hate it, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll stab a bro. Don't think I won't. Cool.
You say Kyle.
Kyle. There's Kaya and Kyle.
I hate those parents.
Unimaginative parents. Yeah. Did we do yours?
Yes.
We did. Great.
Ren Silvers is the person I hate because they keep either losing supplies and I have to track them down, or
that's right, yeah.
bringing them back damaged.
Freaking archaeologists.
I know, right, man?
Ugh.
And then Samantha Nova is my friend because she fabricates a lot of stuff and I have to inventory it and all. So we work closely together.
I'm looking at this and I'm wondering, how is this gonna play for Backy?
I guess we're gonna start over.
Yeah.
So one of the things, I think we've talked about this already at the table, but Cleo wants to play the backup AI of JAQLINE. So the ship's AI will undergo some kind of damage in our adventure, and most of the time Cleo will be like the restored backup, which at least in that way is gonna make you and Mark connected in some way. I don't know whether Mark will like you or not, but there's I guess maybe if JAQLINE was kind to you, then you probably do feel positively towards.
I think so. I think I would want to help get her back up and running.
Yeah.
You know.
So in that way, like there's a little bit of a friendship there that can form. In terms of the secrets and stuff, I think the knowledge core of the old JAQLINE is probably like fragmented out there, and like discovering the pieces of it can be fun elements of the adventure.
Yes.
Maybe not all of it, but like you can stumble across different pieces of that as like part of the gameplay.
All right. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to mention something. I don't know if this will ever really mean anything, but I forgot to talk about Ivan.
Oh yeah.
My little. So it's not really much anything like you can obviously talk about it in the story if you want to mention it at all, but it's basically a personal little droid that Ivan has, and it sits on his shoulder, and it does nothing but mock his emotions. So like if he's sitting there with his arms crossed, it's gonna be sitting there with his arms crossed, like with his head tilted. But it's kind of like his thing to like.
It's a physical parrot.
Yeah.
It's a
in a way.
repeating words. It does gestures. That's so funny.
It's like it reminds him of his brother. That's like one of his things. So that's like why he carries it around and takes very much care. But it won't have anything to the story. Like won't be doing any actions or anything. It's solely there for just content purposes.
I love the flavor of this little thing being like a non-verbal, like emotive parrot.
That's
because
so-
it's like I can imagine like Ronan gets in an argument or something, and on his shoulder is just like.
Yeah, that's the hope.
Yeah.
That's exactly the hope.
Or it like kicks a little mote of dust onto someone, you know, that kind of thing. Like,
Nope, that is exactly what I wanted to go
That's so
for.
funny.
Yep.
It's a beautiful-
Obviously, I can play him into the story because there is a backstory behind him too. But like that's
well, and
more,
also
that's probably more for talk during our drunk talks.
playing with that. That's his like kind of personal gadget. You know, everyone has like a little gadget that was kind of to help flavor who you are. His was Ivan. That's something that you're gonna have all the autonomy over too. So like you can use that in role play to like, and then Ivan does this, whatever, and it like, you know, that gives you more flavor. I probably won't do very much with Ivan unless you send him to do something in combat.
I probably
I'll
won't.
have to
Nah,
jump in
he
there. But-
doesn't. I don't. Unless you allow me to do something with the combat, most likely he'll just stay on my.
Well, I mean,
my
if you're
combat.
like run over there and push a button, you know, or whatever, like those kind of things.
I'll think about it.
I'll
Most of the
figure
time,
out if
he
you
was just gonna
succeed.
sit on my shoulder and hang out.
Ivan, go resuscitate.
It would be like Captain Jack, like the monkey from Pirates of the Caribbean, where he actually goes and does stuff.
Ivan, I need you to move this 5-ton tungsten cube.
So there are two elements of ship life that I want us to work out together. How does the ship resolve conflict, and how does the ship celebrate valor or merit?
Democracy.
So, in particular, like if you're gonna be stuck out there, you're all stuck on the same ship for a long time. What happens when two of you want different things? What happens when, you know, Ren Silvers has lost something for the last time and
Fight
you're
pit.
fed up with him?
Fight pit. Fight pit.
I mean, I'm open to it. You know, that's why I'm making this
We could do
collaborative.
it. Honestly, what you could
I
do?
think for like major conflicts, it'll
Lean in
go
your mic a
to-
little bit.
It'll go to the team lead, and then the captain has ultimate say if it's like gets to that point.
Okay.
I
So we
that
think
would
it's
make
kind of a
sense.
monarchy, and the captain is really the end goal here. Or the
Yeah,
end,
but it'll
like,
go up the
whole
chain
deal.
of command, and so it's like, you know, it starts with you two. If you can't settle it, you go to your team lead. If it's different teams, maybe both team leads are involved.
I could see Dean Lagrange somehow trying to interject himself somewhere in that hierarchy, and that causing some conflict.
That's interesting. Yeah.
It definitely feels like just having a meeting with the higher ups. You gotta
Yeah.
sit down, like, what the fuck's going on this time, guys?
I
Yeah.
feel like the threat of like
Which
a court martial
is-
or something.
That's incentive to not escalate it.
Yeah.
'Cause nobody wants to sit down with their boss and
Yeah.
talk
Go to
about.
the principal's
Yeah.
office.
Yeah.
It's generally avoided by Astro specifically if he can help it.
Yeah.
But when things keep going missing,
I would imagine like if something really bad happened that was like normally like you need a formal reprimand, like you can't really do a lot in space, right? Like,
Ship's got a brig, I guess. You know,
Yeah.
like
but I could see like in expeditions when they were exploring the Americas and whatnot, right? And you're away from like any kind of legal representation. It was just like, all right, you messed up. We don't have time to like deal with it or send you back. So 3 lashes.
Yeah. But there also could be like set prison time, like in an actual cell where you don't
Timeout
have to do
corner.
anything. Yeah, like a timeout in a way, but it really just depends on like I guess the
or
strength.
We need to pause, Jeff.
Oh yeah. Depends on how harsh like what they did was.
Yeah.
You know, if it's just like an argument, you just can't
Or,
seem to
like-
agree with each other. That's that's just a small thing. You just
If-
guys
oh,
can't
yeah.
find agree. But like if you're physically like fighting over something like that, I think
Yeah.
one time might be different. Like I think a one-time fight that might just settle the differences right then and there. But if it's like something that keeps happening, definitely we have to get all the other higher up people involved.
We have to bring out the whip.
yeah. I mean, they could also get like
give me the whip.
the person who's deemed in the wrong could also be given like the worst chores to do on the ship, like bathroom duty or
Oh
something.
wait, they're getting paid, right? Like aren't people that aren't on the ship getting like paid to
I
do
think so. I hope so.
It is. It's just one of those things of like, and you'll see this too. it's money that you can't do anything with because where are you gonna spend it?
Well, that's what I mean. So when you get back, technically, you would have access to that money. What if they deducted your money, your pay, as
Oh,
you like
sure.
did,
They have
like,
to be
messed up
pretty
and stuff?
serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they're taking pay away.
Because that would get somebody.
But I think like
point
doing
there.
the worst chores on the ship is probably like the punishment.
Oh yeah.
I think that's fun.
Hey, I'm just saying, there's a whip.
Would there be any jobs or ways that would cause us to go outside on the ship, like want to do the outside
EVA?
hall, stuff like that? Okay.
Yeah, there will definitely be EVA.
That would be
That's
cool.
fun. So we
Yeah,
have
that
to be
sounds
able to do that.
All right.
I think that the fight pit does sound fun if there's like little things, if just like stuff like late at night we go
It
into
could
the
just be an
kitchen,
arm wrestle thing. Yeah, I could.
something like, or even
Ronan
if there's
just has like a little fight pit in the back.
I mean, I feel
room.
like there's got to be some ways to like just let off some steam
Oh,
that
yeah.
are on the ship.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know about it as like an official way of settling disputes.
It'd be like maybe some
There's probably
maybe
just
some
a gym.
gambling or like some sort of game that takes some skill, but like it could be a game that's like like a hard some.
I was about to say, yeah.
We're just playing like I'm
Still
playing like
around.
N64 sitting in the back, just
Yeah.
like
I was gonna say, yeah, just something like liar's dice type thing, but
Yeah.
whatever space variation we want to have.
Yeah, like dice games, card games, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Sort of goofy little thing.
Maybe-
it depends
maybe
on
that's a way-
the difference.
to work out our problems on the ship without getting HR involved, essentially, or without your
Oh, that's
teammates.
like
fun. Like
only
the
the
crew
work-
have
yeah.
come up with a way of like, we don't go to the captain and then the
it can be
compliance
in the,
officer.
it,
you
can
get
be in the
caught.
kitchen because I'm the only person that has access to the kitchen, really.
Yeah.
So, and then Jacqueline would have access. But that's about it.
That's interesting.
If you get
Jacqueline
caught, then the
keeps
captain,
score.
you got to go through those
So,
channels.
so what is that crew determined way?
What was
How
the
does it-
dice game you were like that? I kind of like that. It would just be a fun.
Yeah, there are some like we could just do
dice
some
game.
real dice games.
yeah, I mean, if
Could be
you
a-
do you know if you watch Pirates of the Caribbean, they do liar's dice,
absolutely.
which is just they do the thing. You got to say how many you have under there,
Oh,
and
and
if
then,
you
like-
get called out, then you lose.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like I've
the one.
just 5 threes, as
Yeah.
Davy Jones says.
The
Says,
fantasy version is Admiral.
Admiral.
Do you remember that, Cleo?
Yes, vaguely.
I don't.
So you have it's only d6s, and I think it's 5. You have 5 d6s, and in order to begin scoring, you have to roll a 6, a 5, and a 4, because that's your captain, ship, and one other thing. The ship needs sails or something. I don't know. And then your total score will be the 2 remaining dice added together after you've rolled the 6, the 5, and the 4. And you get 3 rolls.
Interesting.
So it's a very quick and very
Yeah.
easy dice game.
I wonder if what if the way it works is Ronan determines the dice game. Like we can come up with a list of 4 or 5 simple dice games
Easily.
So it's like when you have a dispute, it's like Ronan's got to.
I
You just go to Ronan and be like, "Hey, Ronan, we need to set up a night."
I think that is fun to have Ronan as the authority of like, hey, you used to be a pirate. How the fuck do we do this stuff? I think
Yeah.
it just depends
That's
on the
great.
severity of the offense. It's like,
Yeah.
if it's just a little thing, let's play some dice. If you guys are really beefing, it's coming to fists.
Yeah.
We just shut the windows on the.
So it has like iron shutters to like.
All right.
Ronan's like Jackie locked down the mess hall.
That's how we got to do it.
The best
my
part
God.
is like with something like that, it would definitely be like uppers would know eventually,
Right.
If only for the fact that occasionally people go missing and then reappear with bruises that the medical officers
Do we
deal
have a
with.
gym of sorts? Can we?
Oh,
say
yeah.
that we
Has
have
to
a
be a
gym.
gym.
Definitely a
Okay,
gym.
so we can use excuses maybe for that reason.
The gym could even have a ring in it. Like you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like this is
Boxing.
a massive and well outfitted ship. It's like, they're gonna try and include all of the different services that will keep you running. There's probably like I would say mental health services even on the ship. They're probably coming from Jackie or from the ship's doctor.
I'm
But, like,
everybody's therapist.
maybe not. the glee on your face is suggesting to me that I'm going to take that responsibility back out of Jacqueline and I'm going to put that on the medical officer.
Would there be like a hologram / like simulation room?
Oh, that is.
There's
fun.
got to
A
be one.
holodeck.
Yeah.
Just like
Yeah, there's a
gladiatorial
holodeck.
Yeah, training
holodeck
room, that'd be
combat. That's
Absolutely.
really fun.
That is fun. Holodeck combat is a
Yeah.
good way because nobody
Oh, yeah.
gets hurt,
Yeah.
right? And it could be like, each time they have Jacqueline randomly assign like what weapons or whatever everybody has. It's like
Different kind of scenario.
my gosh.
Like Shaolin Showdown.
playing Frenzy.
You have a different kind of idea for the game every time.
Fiesta and Halo, like literally.
Hey,
BS.
I'm just saying just because I would have a lot of fun being everyone's therapist doesn't mean I would do anything nefarious with it.
So if
The
anything, I'm
nefarious
your
therapist.
though. If anything, Ronan's your therapist. If you're gonna be the one like venting to him all the time,
Gonna learn a lot about everyone.
all the tea.
Ronan just knows all the tea, but like doesn't just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I half imagine like half the time Ronan just has earplugs in. Doesn't know.
No, he'll have the decency to listen because he need knowledge is key for him. He's a pirate.
That's so fun.
And if everyone's coming to him with beef,
Well, that's the thing. It's funny because like I don't know if that'll really play into that in the story. His intellect is the lowest out of all of these. He's a pirate, obviously, but that's more like when it comes to general education with like intellect.
Yeah, he's
Man wouldn't be
street
too
smart.
Oh yeah, he'd be street smart.
yeah. Oh my god.
But knowledge, like straight regular knowledge, no, he's not.
I realized that I had perhaps not properly balanced the AI types different stat pools when I made a tier 6 one to try and simulate like fully shipboard Jackie, the one that breaks. And she had an intellect of 39.
Oh my god!
Jesus. That's a
It was
lot.
perfect.
So scary.
But she also doesn't.
She has a speed of 1.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just what happens when you're only good at one thing.
Yeah.
And she had a might of 4.
You know, these are okay. It's just like, Frode had one particular thing he was good at.
Throwing Willard.
Yes.
Fun. Okay, so we resolve conflicts on the holodeck if we can, and if not, then it gets brought to the two like authority figures, the captain and the compliance officer, and then that can be a point of tension of like who gives the real orders on the ship. Like that can be a thing for them to clash a little bit. Obviously, Chet, Gamma, and Dean Lagrange have bad blood. Like we know that because the one dude is there to babysit the other. So
Most of the crew respects the captain's authority more.
at least the bridge crew. Yeah, I don't know about the rest of the ship, but for sure.
I
the
will
bridge.
say Chet and JAQLINE are definitely like, we're best buds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like all of us have already, from what we've said, like our friends and foes would be. I feel like all of us here would definitely be on Chet's team.
Yeah.
Side, but obviously for the rest of the crew, we might not know if they had like authority style
Authority.
figures. Yeah, like authority style figures in their life, maybe that they respected. So maybe that's why they would look up.
Yeah.
That part we
Yeah.
wouldn't know yet.
And what about recognizing valor or merit on the ship? Can't get promoted and make more money. You're all making 10 times the union rate for your position.
Yeah.
What does that look like? It could be a day off of chores. Like everyone could have ship, chores
It's a
around
party.
the ship. You're very important to us here at the Spirit of Inquiry.
You get a little trophy and a pizza party.
What about like a wall of fame with like employee of the month or something?
JAQLINE would destroy that.
I like a wall of valor or something like that, where it's like, or a wall of merit or
Would you
something.
like update it every session? Like every session we walk by and there's a new person's face on it or something?
Maybe. I don't know. It would depend on what the time gap is between
Yeah.
sessions.
Yeah.
I feel like you'd have to have done something very important, I
Yeah.
feel like having a person of the month just to have one.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
I think
Yeah.
maybe just like medals and shit. Kind of.
That's true. Like, yeah, you could just give out medals. We've got a fabrication specialist. They could be making the medals when everyone gets given out.
When I worked at Panera, they had pins.
Really?
Yeah, I only
Panera?
I only ever got one. People tended to
Panera.
forget that they were even a thing.
Panera?
Yeah.
What'd you get a
There you
pin
go.
for?
There you go, Josh. That's very good, Josh.
I made it funny.
That's very good. Everyone, a moment of silence for Josh being so funny.
Someone get him his pin.
I think I've got one, right?
He's got a
I'm wearing
pin.
pin somewhere. Yeah, here it is.
That one. Anyway,
Okay, so we like medals or pins or something
think
like that,
that's
maybe.
fun.
I think throwing like an actual little party, for their
Yeah.
respective,
Yeah.
like giving them like, hey, here's your day, invite who you want.
Maybe there's like a special type of cake or food that's only reserved for the parties. Like
Like break out the mead or whatever, like something
Yeah.
like that, like a.
where like anyone could theoretically get access to it, but there's like an unspoken rule that you only have this when we're celebrating something.
And we all hate that one MFer who's stealing from the meat supply, even though we keep telling them like you're technically allowed to, and we can't stop you.
Who's stealing from
But we
Ronan's
all
meat
hate
supply
you.
and getting away alive?
What if there's just some recipe that Ronan makes that's really good? That's just like, you know, on the good days they have Ronan break out his like family recipe or whatever.
Yeah.
Family lasagna or something.
I'll figure out. Could it be the burger?
That's so funny. What if the burger? So, for those of you who haven't seen it, his backstory scene, he gets hired because Jacqueline and Chet Gamma are talking about the qualifications they need, and he's just doing them in the background. So like, he's got to be able to make a good burger, and he sets down a delicious burger on the table. It'd be so funny if that burger turned out to be like, this is how the captain shows his appreciation. Ronan, make him a burger. Just like, I'm a vegetarian. Ronan, make him a burger.
Fun.
I like that.
it.
I like that. Either
We'll break
burger or
burgers
you just
tonight.
get to request your own.
Yeah, or you
bucket
maybe,
meal.
maybe that's it. You just like, you decide what's on the menu tonight. Kind of
People
a thing.
just look down upon you just a tiny bit.
Yeah. If it's not a burger, they
Yeah,
disrespect you.
So we brought out also another thing is like, we obviously have enough food and supplies for this adventure. Is there ever going to be a time where we're going to need to re-up on anything, or like?
Are we at a point where we've got like food synthesizer?
Oh,
kind of
I mean,
stuff?
we've got the botanist, right?
Yes.
So we're growing food in the greenhouse. I think all of the meat is beyond. Like, I don't think there's any real
Lab
meat that we're
grown,
being.
yeah.
It's like lab grown food.
Mushroom.
Yeah, and that's probably your fabrication specialist. Probably manages growing the meat.
That's all.
The like lab grown meat for you. And then I think from those raw materials, probably Ronan would be expected to like,
Yeah.
you know, make magic.
Maybe Ronan probably knows how to do some gardening himself. Maybe that's one of his friendships with Kai. Is like he helps her.
Yeah.
With that.
That's
And
fun.
You know, maybe on when we find like new planets and stuff, we find cool stuff to try.
We'll certainly explore them. Yeah, that is one of the things that they say in his little backstory scene is the captain's like, I need someone who's adaptable because he's got to be able to, you know, like can handle hard situations because he's gonna be going on every expedition to see if anything we find out there has nutritional value.
Yeah.
It's gonna be him.
Yay. And he knows how to fish. I forgot to put that little special fact in there.
If
There
you
we
teach a
go.
man to fish, he'll become a pirate.
If we ever come across water, we can fish.
the-
What if we had like
Classic saying.
Would we have like maybe an aquarium on board, maybe, or like any sort of animals at all? Would there be any other wildlife on board other than
Well,
humans?
You would know this, and everyone would at least have heard a rumor, minimum. Astro has a goldfish that he brought on board.
Oh yeah,
His
AKA
superstitious like good luck charm goldfish.
Oh no!
that's really cute.
Yeah, we have sushi today. Funny enough.
That's what I was gonna make a joke.
Not for eating.
Gosh,
Call
what an
this my
interesting
golden
point of
sushi
tension.
roll.
I'm gonna sit on that GM intrusion until you forget I know about it. That's good. Okay, well that's all of my session 0 things. That's our fundamentals.
Yay!
Woo.
Our adventure will start on April 13th.
Yeah.
It'll be our first day of gameplay. The way that we'll do it is we'll play for many, many hours, but we'll do 2 hours on, 1 hour off, 2 hours on, 1 hour off, 2 hours on. So it'll
Okay.
be 3 sessions in one day.
Yep.
We'll start around 2. So we'll get here same kind of time frame, 1:15-ish. We'll make sure all the tech is working. Then we'll start at 2. And the first adventure, I'll set the scene. And then the other 2, I'll have one of you do recaps, like, ship's log, star date, blah, 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 whatever.
very fun.
So that'll be kind of a way for us to recap for each other what happened. And also because we'll be live on those days, like it's a chance. I don't want everyone to have to sit there for 8 hours to jump in. You know what I mean? So if they want to come at the second session, they can. And then I'm thinking for those, I'll leave them live, but it won't be like it's been in the past where we're like actively monitoring the chat and they're spending points to influence the game or whatever. It'll more be like, this is for the people who might care. But like, I'm feeling like the energy we've decided is that we want our focus to be on like the post-production on like the YouTube stuff. So that's where I'm trying to like arrange my effort and
Okay.
put everything in there.
So we're doing away with chat intrusions.
Yes, I think so.
Okay.
Unless that's really important to you.
No, I just want to be clear.
Yeah. I think it's for the best. It's a lot of mental jumping through hoops, which is fun when it's like fantasy and it's wild and everything. But if we're trying to tell a story where I have to know more about the characters than what's their accent, then I don't know that I can handle the constant wondering, did chat say something and checking out to read the chat and whatever.
Yeah.
I'll probably put the chat up here because I'll do like a little HUD, to go on my screens and stuff. So the words will be back there, but it won't be like we won't check all the time. We'll check every now and then,
Yeah.
kind of a thing.
Right.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's kind of what I'm picturing. And then in between, we'll do remote one time, like, halfway between the 2 sessions. We'll do the remote one that'll be kind of like a tavern talk, where we'll talk about how it went and how we're feeling and what we're expecting. And I think the skill development stuff we did last season was kind of fun. I really liked hearing like players teaching players.
Yeah.
So assuming you guys are willing, we'll probably do something similar to that as well, where it's like we'll have some kind of fun like group development moment. Someone will lead the charge each time.
Sure.
Tap into that huge well of Star Wars lore in Tyler's head. Learn about sci-fi. So yeah,
Cool.
So that's kind of what I'm expecting. How we feeling? Any other questions as far as like how's this game gonna work, or things that we need to sort out that are like important to you to get answers on right now, like clarity on anything?
I think I'm good.
That was a very nice session.
I do think I would like to go through, maybe not just right now, through every single crew member, because I feel like JAQLINE would know and have thoughts about every single crew
That's
member.
fine, and I can send you the list, like it,
Yes,
That would work. Yeah.
and for during gameplay, you're gonna have discs just like this, so I can print you. I made like custom pages for this that I printed on my large format printer that are like actual layouts of like
that's awesome.
different things like that. And I'll do sheets like this for your characters as well, with all your abilities and everything. It'll be nicely laid out. You won't have to cram anything into the PDF. So all that kind of stuff will be really accessible to you. And I'm hoping to give you like 3 banks of these, so you could have like your inventory in one, your abilities in
Okay.
another one, and your notes on the third, or something
You're
like
too
that.
good to us.
You know what I mean? So because they should
Oh.
fit like along the length there. I
Yeah.
think we can fit
Absolutely.
several of them that way. So
Cool.
I think
like
that'll
that.
work really nice. So, and then last thing I'll end with is 7 Truths. One of the things that DM that I respect and read a lot of their work does at every session 0 is they give up to 10 truths about the universe. Ours, I think we only need 7. This is like distilling all of the world building we did into like, here's just like the core facts of what everybody in the world knows. So our 7 truths: humanity has colonized the Milky Way, but they haven't gone any further. So this is the first expedition to leave the Milky Way. Cosmoridium is an incredibly scarce, volatile, and wondrous material that enables the compression of time-space into a portal. This is what we understand about it. When we explode it, it literally squishes the universe together. So it's not that we are traveling really quickly, we're traveling at the same speed, and we are shrinking the distance between where we are and where we're going, which is very strenuous on the ship. So it only takes a few seconds to get there, right? It's like instantaneous almost. But while we're passing through, that sort of like compressed tunnel can be really hazardous. 3, the governing body of the Milky Way is the CCC, the Cosmic Coalition of Citizens. This is after the Mutters movement, when power moved off of planet Earth, and like that traditional Earth government sort of lost its standing. This new government was established. It's basically British Parliament. I picture it being very representative of like, people yelling in a big room, and like, Mars wants what Mars wants, and freaking Neptune, and it's like that.
Star Wars: The Senate.
Yeah, just like that.
That'd be awesome.
Just to clarify, when you say galaxy, so you mean like they've colonized the Milky Way galaxy?
Right, like our 9 planet, or our solar system, I should say.
Solar system.
Our solar system is what we've colonized.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure we got those straight.
Yep, that's good. I just said the wrong word. Okay, the 4th one. The Spirit of Inquiry is a one-of-one, highly public venture to find raw cosmoridium called cosmetalline. Yeah. It will be sent into deep space without the means to return unless it is successful. You only have enough cosmoridium to get you out there. You have to find cosmoridium in order to come home. 5, the crew postings are highly competitive. To be selected, you had to already be the best, and then you were culled over a year of boot camp. So they probably selected like 3 of each role, and then throughout boot camp, they sent people home when they did bad. So you won your position here. Number 6, the CCC is not all powerful. Megacorps and unions also wield great influence and corruption. For example, I imagine something like if you're out on, Saturn, and some dictate comes out from the government, people are like, yeah, whatever. Like the only people here who have any power are, the corp, that kind of thing. And then my last one, number 7, despite rumors of a first contact some 400 years ago, as far as we know, humans are alone in the universe. So if there is any kind of, alien race or whatever that we discover in our story, it will be a first contact. So,
Gotcha.
Cool.
yep. And that is the glittering canvas.
Yay!
Woo!